Now, welcome to another Let's Talk Some Star Wars, where this time we're going to look at the results of the poll that asked you, how excited are you for the upcoming Ahsoka series? We'll then be reading and responding to some of the comments left on that poll. And once again, I will bring my wife, Sailor Naboo, from our other channel together in for this one. Just makes these discussion videos flow much better, I think. Alright, so let's waste no time and get right to the results.
The results to the poll of how excited are you for the upcoming Ahsoka series. 22% super excited and or can't wait for it. 26% pretty excited for it and will certainly watch it. 26% again, somewhat excited or will likely watch it. 17% not really all that interested and or probably won't watch it. 9% not excited at all or will absolutely not be watching it.
Still quite a bit of optimism here for the Ahsoka series.
Yeah. Well,
which doesn't surprise me
Dave's
necessarily.
going after his favorite characters, so...
But I mean, if you look at that, that seems like 3/4 of the people who voted, roughly, are going to watch it or very likely to watch it.
Yeah, that's high numbers.
Yeah, and I mean, I know my channel, as I kind of give my usual disclaimer. I'm not always the most positive, though I'm not always the most negative either. I kind of fall in between. I give you my honest takes on everything. So it's good to see that still a lot of hope for Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's move on to comments, but not before once again just saying thank you to everyone who votes, comments, and watches these videos. Also, a huge thank you to everyone who supports this channel, or the other one as well, over on Patreon. We love you guys. Thank you very much. And let's now begin with the top-rated comment left on the poll.
Griff's Custom Lightsabers. I'm excited for Ahsoka, but I was also excited for Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi, so I'm hoping for the best and preparing for the worst.
I think there's a really good reason why this was the top comment. I think we all kind of feel that way.
Well, if one of those two shows would have been bad and the other one good, I think the optimism would be even higher. But the problem is that they seem to have botched them both.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Book of Boba Fett was that bad.
Because 3 episodes redemption?
Well, because, I mean, the Mando episodes were really good, don't get me wrong. And I think this one had a lot of people expecting, myself included, a lot of, bounty hunter action and just kind of Boba Fett kicking ass, especially after we saw him in Mando Season 2.
Right, and it seemed like a flip of the character entirely.
Yeah. So I've been meaning to watch it again and just see if I have any kind of different impression of it. I'm not trying to say I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be amazing now. But I don't know if it was that bad. But for me, Kenobi was that bad.
Right. Because they took a beloved legacy character played by the actor who originally portrayed him in the first 3 episodes of Star Wars, and yeah.
Yeah,
They messed with canon. Boba Fett at least didn't mess with the canon.
That's a good point. Like, you may not like what Boba Fett was or what he became, but it didn't really affect anything else other than Boba Fett. I mean, the Kenobi thing, as I've said before, him letting Vader live, for me, is just such a terrible moment in Star Wars. It makes no sense.
I'd rather just wait and have your son come kill you later.
Yeah, I know my friend Anakin is dead, and that you are nothing more than a Sith and a monster who kills indiscriminately, essentially, but I'm going to let you live. I'm going to walk away. Because that's what a Jedi would do.
The first time he thought he killed him.
Yeah, he did.
And yes, he was struggling with the grief and possibly the regret of doing that because he killed his brother, but now you see your brother came back and he's a monster.
Yeah, he's not your brother anymore. You haven't confirmed. Like, any hope you may have had when you originally faced him 10 years ago that he could have changed has been destroyed. You did the right thing back then. But anyway, we're talking about the wrong show. But no, I find myself really, really excited for Ahsoka, but with that ounce of kind of doubt, which I don't want to have, but you have to. So I agree with this comment. I'm excited for it, but I was also excited for some other stuff that didn't pan out very well.
Next comment from Hardcase44. I'm cautiously excited and looking forward to the continuation of the Rebel storyline with Thrawn and the World Between Worlds, but I'm also hoping we are finally going to get some interaction between Ahsoka and Luke, and Anakin's Force Spirit, and possibly Barriss Offee.
Yeah, not seeing Luke and Ahsoka meet for the first time.
But we know that this series is actually going to jump in time. This is, confirmed for us now, because of the Star Wars Timelines book, which said that Ahsoka and Sabine went out to look for Ezra at 5 BBY. But then,
right after the war, yeah.
Right, when she had the short hair, so the short hair, in the trailer. Yeah. But we know for some reason they split apart, and Sabine goes back to Lothal, or wherever she wants to go.
Yeah, she seems to be at Ezra's tower on Lothal, yeah.
We know The Mandalorian takes place at 9 ABY.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 years.
4 years of hair
Ahsoka
growing.
looking for what she was doing, and
Sabine growing out her hair. Yeah.
Before she will probably, she's going to come back and go, now I have a solid lead because she's following an Elspeth. So there could be more flashbacks. We could see Ahsoka
It could very well be. We could see Ahsoka, seek out Luke and ask if he knows anything about Thrawn. Has he ever encountered him? Has he heard anything about him? That's their first meeting.
Or even ask him to go with.
Well, yeah, which he probably should say yes. I mean, what else has he got going on in this time period? We know he's not training anybody.
So hopefully they rectify that and we get to see the two of them meet for the first time and discuss his father.
Yeah, and also the Force ghost of Anakin would be the cherry on top.
It would be. I don't expect that, but it would be the cherry.
I kind of do, kind of don't. I don't know. I could see that one going both ways. But as for Barriss Offee, I just want to know what happens to her. It's one of those mysteries left over from the Clone Wars that I feel like...
Man, they brought back the Xylo Beast in Bad Batch. Why not bring back Barriss Offee?
Good point. If we can get a Xylo Beast again, why not Barriss?
Nothing's ever really gone. Next comment from Brody Smith. As a huge fan of Rebels, I'm really excited for the sequel series that I've been waiting for years. But I'm also really nervous given the recent failures of some of the shows. I feel the show has the potential to either save or destroy Star Wars. If Disney screws this up, I, and many others I'm sure, will be done.
Yeah, I feel like we say this with pretty much every show.
Until the movies come out.
Well, no, but I mean, I feel like we keep hemorrhaging fans with every show. I hear this was my breaking point. This was the last straw.
Everyone has a breaking point, and it's just how many will they hit before they can come back.
Yeah, I mean, the question is for them as a business thing, how many fans are you hemorrhaging compared to how many are actually bringing on board? Because I think Mandalorian obviously brought a lot of people into Star Wars.
Yes.
So from their point of view, they might not be all that concerned for all we know. I mean, certainly you want as many customers and as much money as you can possibly make, but...
I said each person has their own point. I mean, think of how hard it was to get some of the people, even in our own Discord server, to come back to watch Andor. People who said they were done and just...
I begged people to watch Andor. Just give it a shot. If you don't like it, that's fine, but it is so well written. It is such a fantastic series.
But it was hard to get people to come back even for that.
Yeah, because they feel like they've been betrayed so many times, and I mean, I get it. I certainly get comments like this. Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. I think for me, Kenobi was close to a breaking point. I just felt like they were so careless with this character and the lore around him and just the lore in general about when it comes to kind of the core of Star Wars, which is, centers around Anakin Skywalker. It just felt like they kind of carelessly put this extra story in there that wasn't needed, and it wasn't a good one. Anyway,
no,
again, talking about the wrong show.
But whatever.
Yeah, I would have been fine with something like the Kenobi book from the EU. But anyway, again, we're talking about the wrong show.
Lugubrious, Australia. I care most about coherent storytelling. I don't expect perfection, but make an effort. Only Andor, Jedi Fallen Order, and Jedi Survivor have delivered this in recent times, so I must admit I'm not expecting much from Ahsoka.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's coherent and consistent.
Dave Filoni likes to tell his own lore. We know that anything Dave Filoni says, he will just trump any lore that's already been written, despite already having it in lore. So you know what? He's going to do what he does, because he decided, and I know they're even going to do this for Andor, that they've decided that even though they've done a comic that might explain an event, they don't care if they override it because they're on the higher tier of the canon pyramid.
Yeah, it's like the EU when we had the tier systems and the different levels of canon. I feel like we're right back there.
Films are on the top. Right underneath that is live action. Underneath that is animated. Then we move down into the games. You move
to games and then books and then comics. Comics are the bottom
books,
tier.
Yeah. They are okay with overriding any of that as long as they don't override anything above it. Though with Kenobi they didn't care. That wasn't what we were talking about, so I don't want to open that can of worms
again. Like the third time. But no, that's what I want. And like this comment says, it doesn't have to be perfect. I understand there are going to be minor conflictions and things you don't get exactly right, or this person was supposed to be here at this time, how are they also there? Okay, that'll happen, right? If you're going to have multiple people writing multiple stories and you're going to cram it all into one time period like they like to do, you're going to have some problems here and there. Fine. It's the big things.
Well, it's about coherent storytelling, like this says. You have to stay consistent within your thing. You have to have everything make sense. You can't be jumping all over the place and contradicting yourself and being all crazy.
No, absolutely.
Blue Diamond Director. I'm hopeful, but I'm also worried because Dave has so much attachment to Ahsoka. He got rid of her perfect ending in Rebels by using the World Between Worlds, and now I'm worried he's going to use her to replace Luke Skywalker in this Thrawn trilogy remake. I don't want her used in a way that will once again make Luke appear like a failure. Are they going to say, while all of this was going on, that he was just sitting in his Jedi Academy, twiddling his thumbs? I'm in the middle on this one.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
Well, he is building a school and doing something important.
He doesn't even have a student right now.
No, but he's building a school, and he's going to get some.
Yeah, he had robots build it for him, or droids. He's not even building it. What is he doing right now? Like, literally, what is Luke Skywalker doing right now in the canon?
We need a timelines book of literally just what Luke is doing every minute of the day. So he's like, what's going on with Luke? Why couldn't he do it?
I'm not saying, again, that we need every moment of his life mapped out, that he can't take a vacation, essentially, right?
I don't know when the Battlefront stories take place, but...
those are shortly after. That's even before the Battle of Jakku, so...
So I know he went and got a compass for reasons.
Yeah, because it was cool. Because he wanted to have it on his shelf for The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It is in the movie. You do see it.
But what was it for?
It was for distraction and red herring. Because Battlefront 2 came out before The Last Jedi, and everybody thought that was going to be significant, and it wasn't. But anyway, no, I feel like this is the great test for Dave Filoni. I've said it before. This is his moment to really prove himself, because this is his show. He's writing the thing. He's directing multiple episodes. He is the showrunner. This is his character. Like, this is kind of going back with the other comment. This is kind of that moment where we get to decide whether or not the future of Star Wars under Dave Filoni, who's obviously going to be a big part of it going forward, right? He's got a movie coming. Mm-hmm. That's not going to be the end of Filoni. He's going to be doing a lot more, I'm sure. So this is when we see what he can do with live action all by himself.
We shall see.
And for better or worse, he's going to be the future. So if he nails this, then maybe there's a lot of hope for the future after all.
Alyssa T, I have no doubts it's going to be good. Meet all of our expectations? Probably not. But I'll be happy just being able to see the Ghost Crew in live action. That honestly is enough for me. That being said, I just hope the writers didn't bank on something and half-ass the story because they know we'll be satisfied enough with the characters we already know and love just being there. I hope they do them justice.
Me too. And with Filoni being the writer...
The only writer.
Yeah, so it's not like they're bringing somebody in who doesn't know the characters, which is kind of what I feel like happened with Kenobi. To go back to that for the fourth time or something. I just feel like they didn't really grasp the core of that story between Anakin and Vader. They just went kind of with the superficial, surface level kind of, it'd be cool if they fight again, wouldn't it?
Be so cool.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that it doesn't make sense. Because it's cool. Because I got my action figures and I like to swing them at each other. But anyway, no, I think Filoni knows the characters. These are his characters. Mm-hmm. So again, this is his test. Like, you've made characters. These are all your own. They're not really... I mean, Ahsoka's obviously connected to the Anakin at the core of Star Wars and all that. Don't get me wrong. But this is your chance to say, these are the characters I've made, the story I've been kind of forming for the last decade or more at this point. So let's see how you kind of, take it to the next step and then how you finish it in your movie in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And if he pulls it off, well then, maybe the future of Star Wars is indeed in good hands. I mean, I like Filoni. I want to believe in him.
I want to believe in him, but I still have my reservations. I'll just say that.
Sure. Yeah, like I said, this is his test. That's how I look at it. Ahsoka is the great test. If this series is really good, then I'm going to be very hopeful. And if it's not, I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. Because there is still good Star Wars, right? We got Andor Season 2 coming.
Absolutely.
Survivor was fantastic. I mean, Bad Batch. I'm hyped for Season 3 of Bad Batch. I mean, perhaps Season 4 of Mando can get back on track, and there will be other things.
Well,
I mean,
still have a direction for it now. I have so many theories about why this season went wrong. We just never talk about them.
Yeah, well, maybe we could throw a video up on the other channel about what went wrong with Mando Season 3.
We'll think about it.
Yeah. But for now, I think that's going to be all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what your hopes and fears or expectations are for the Ahsoka series. Whatever the case may be, do leave your comments below and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.